All right, in this explainer, we're going to break down a real-world case study for solving a pretty major back tax problem. But here's what makes this so interesting. It's not just about the strategy. It's about a payment model that makes sure you only pay for results you can actually see. Let's get into it.
So let's kick things off with a scenario that, gives a lot of freelancers and small business owners that sinking feeling in their stomach. The mail comes, there's an official-looking envelope, and inside is a bill for a huge, unexpected tax balance. The stress hits you like a ton of bricks. What on earth do you do now?
The case we're looking at is for an individual who's got balances with both the feds and the state for 2022 and 2023. The goal here is really straightforward. Correct the record and drastically cut down, or maybe even completely wipe out, the amount they've been told they owe.
And the mindset here is absolutely key. This isn't about some sneaky loophole or trying to get away with something. Nope. This is all about getting the numbers right. It's about finding every single legitimate saving that was missed the first time around, and only then, asking for forgiveness on the penalties.
Look, when you're facing a problem this big, you can't just wing it. You need a solid plan. And in this case, the approach is a super-focused, three-part strategy that's designed to hit the problem from every possible angle.
So, the plan of attack has three distinct phases. First up, rebuild the business's financial records to get a true picture of what happened. Step 2, go on a hunt to maximize every single credit and deduction available. And finally, part 3, once the numbers are squeaky clean, you formally ask for those penalties to be forgiven.
You can really think of those first two steps as a kind of financial archaeology. It means digging in and completely rebuilding that Schedule C. That's the form for self-employment income. You're accounting for every single business mile driven, identifying all those little business expenses that were forgotten, and then you're double and triple checking for things like the earned income credit or specific state deductions. Honestly, every little detail matters.
Now that third step, penalty abatement, is so important to understand. It's not some magic wand. It's a formal, written request where you make your case to the tax agency, explaining why there was a reasonable cause for the issue. In a way, it's about telling the human story behind all the numbers and forms.
Okay, now we get to what I think is one of the most brilliant parts of this whole strategy, the way payment is structured. It's specifically designed to make sure everyone is on the same team and to build a massive amount of trust right from the get-go.
And this quote really says it all. You're not just paying for someone's time or effort. Fees are tied directly to results you can actually see and measure. The client only pays for real progress, the kind you can see in a black and white, side-by-side comparison of before and after.
This table shows you exactly how it works with what are called fee gates. So yeah, there are a couple of small payments to get the ball rolling. But after that, fees only get triggered when a major milestone is hit, like getting the abatement request filed, then getting it approved, and then for every 20% chunk the tax bill is reduced. It is a true pay-for-performance model, plain and simple.
What this does is it creates these really clear financial guardrails, which, let's be honest, is a huge deal for reducing anxiety in what's already a super stressful situation. You know exactly what the worst case cost is, and you know exactly what the best case cost is. No scary surprises. So, let's talk about that worst case scenario. If, after the initial review, it turns out there's just no path to savings, the process stops. That's it. The total out-of-pocket cost is limited to just $1,000. That's the floor. And on the flip side, there's a ceiling. No matter how incredible the results are, even if there are massive savings, the total fee is capped at $5,000. This makes sure the client always gets the lion's share of the benefit.
So, what does all this mean in terms of actual real-world value? Let's break down the potential return on investment you could get from a fee structure like this one.
All right, let's play out two different scenarios. In scenario A, a pretty good outcome, let's say we save about $7,500. That would trigger total fees of around $3,500. But check out scenario B, a great outcome. We find $15,000 in savings, plus get a $4,000 refund. The fees? They hit that $5,000 cap, which means the client's value is absolutely maximized.
And when you look at it as a chart, you really see the power of this structure. As a return on investment, we're talking about getting your fee back more than 2 times over in a good outcome, or nearly 4 times over in a fantastic one. You're not just paying for a service, you're truly investing in a specific, measurable result.
Okay, so what does this whole journey actually look like from start to finish? A solid strategy is one thing, but understanding the timeline is just as crucial for keeping your sanity and managing expectations.
The good news is, the heavy lifting up front is pretty quick.
All the planning and the financial modeling, that's done within the first 3 weeks. The actual filing happens right after, in week 4. Then comes the waiting game while the tax agencies do their thing, and that part can take a little while.
And for the actual person in this case study, the next step to kick this whole process off couldn't be simpler. It's just 3 things. Give the green light, pay that initial retainer, and then upload the documents. That's it.
And that really leaves us with a final, powerful thought. This case study proves that a complicated, terrifying tax problem doesn't have to be the final chapter. With the right strategy and the right partner, it can actually be the beginning of a whole new story, one where you get to rewrite the ending into something you can live with.